What's up? What's up? What is up? It's another Friday, another opportunity to get together and record the Ball Hog Sports Talk. We're in the building today. If you are new to this journey called the Ball Hog Sports Talk, we'll let you know what it is. It's where sports, business, and entertainment collide. Two businessmen get together and discuss sports in an entertaining fashion. We do it one way and one way only. That's rough, rugged, and raw. Myself and the Big Flow Show in the building. We do the official introduction on the other side. Today's episode is going by the title of Firm Stance. Firm Stance. And if you have participated in the Ball Hog Sports Talk, you know we are serious about our titles. So come back, you'll understand why we went by the Firm Stance. It's going to be a great show. We got a lot to discuss. I know that the Big Flow Show was out gallivanting, enjoying the world last week.
Hitting them streets,
and to be more specific, on the wall of the streets, out on that boat. We're going to ask him about that, ask him about more. We're going to talk U.S. Olympics. We got a lot of other things to catch up on. But you don't want to miss this. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk. So pull up a nice chair. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure that the coffee is poured. It's hot. You can spike it with whatever you want. Make sure you have full attention because it's the Ball Hog Sports Talk where sports, business, entertainment collide. Coming to you. So let's go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Because this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go, 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 go.
Once again, it's on as we step before this microphone, man, on this beautiful summer Friday morning. What's going on? You know who I am with. He is the man, the myth, the legend, thou who shall be, intergalactically known as and respected as. And when you say it with your chest. Make sure you come from the diaphragm and have bass in that thing. He is the Big Flow Show is in the building. What's up, my brother?
man. What's good, man? I missed you last week. I was out there watching the air and water show on a boat with some clients.
You didn't change up. You're so bougie. That's how you gonna leave. I was out there watching the
man.
You're so bougie.
Show.
You bougie,
I'm
man. I remember when you didn't go to no air show.
I'm still a little kid, man. I still like watching the fighter jets go over your head and all that kind of stuff. You know, it lets me know football season's coming because I'm ready for the flyovers. You know, that type of stuff.
You ready?
You know, I'm just coming out these Olympics. I'm patriotic right now. I'm real patriotic right now. I'm brand new. All of a sudden, I'm dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? You want to see that gold race before you sing the song.
You always reading the lips when you watch the podium to see if the person knows the words. Are you one of those people to judge them if they don't know the words? Because there were some medal winners from the U.S. that they sat there idle as the most of the song was played. Most people at least know the last line of the song. Are you judgmental? Do you need to know the words in order to be patriotic?
So the reason why I say I'm not judgmental is because I don't know the words.
Oh, damn.
So who am I going to tell you all of a sudden that you had the words wrong? Why? I don't know the words. You sing it.
You don't know the words?
I mean,
sing the song, Anime. Sing the song.
In the home of the brave. I'm the one that mumbles through happy birthday, though. I'm not really on that. Like
You're not on that like that.
I'm not a big group guy. You know what I mean? Everybody's singing.
Highlight of the Olympics, because we're going to hop into that in a second. I got to tell everybody why we've gone by the title Firm Stance. But anything that pops out, right away, this moment popped out. Anything.
We won. That pops out.
Did we? We're going to talk about that. Did we? Because you start looking at
Start peeling the onion back.
GDP and the size of the economy. You start doing little tweaks and twerks to the medal count. Did we win?
I can't wait to that conversation. I was holding it. I got a lot to say.
You got a lot to say on it. But America, you did well. I am proud to say today, because America has a lot of subsets to it. It has a lot of neighborhoods to it. It has a lot of communities to it, a lot of ethnicities to it. And America today, I am proud to be from America because 3 brothers, man, they flew in town. Black men, fathers, lawyers, guys that we went to a pre-law school program together called ICLEO, Indiana CLEO. I think it's Legal Education Opportunity. I think that's what that stands for. These gentlemen, we've been talking forever. We've known each other since 2003. We've been saying that we need to get together, despite the families and the commitments. We need to get together, man, because life is short. We've all experienced, the 4 of us. We refer to ourselves as the firm because in this pre-law program, we gravitate towards one another and say, man, us brothers, we need to go start a firm one day. Long story short, man, these brothers, we've been committed to doing a reunion of some sort. And because of my coaching obligations and this sport, that sport, they decided they were going to make it happen by just flying to New Jersey, coming here, man. So these brothers in town, we go by the firm. I'm very proud of these brothers, man. They came to football last night, 2 of them. Mike Jones flew in from California.
Who?
Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones, brother from Detroit, but lives out in California now. My man Mo Diddley, Maurice Williams, came up from D.C. He had the easiest trip. Just get on Amtrak, get on the Acela and be here.
He had the easiest trip. You probably see him the least. Right?
Yeah, right.
That's how it
works. That's how life is. You got obligations. Yeah. And then Dwight Haygood, who came in from Louisville, Kentucky, man. They're all do wonderful things. But I wanted to recognize those brothers, man, because they had obligations. They're here in town. We gonna be, like what's the old school? We're gonna be sitting around drinking bourbon, telling lies, but most importantly, having fun, man. So it's good to have good friends. And my sons, in addition to my kids, and turning the extension beyond my sons, the kids that I coach, get to see what friendship looks like. There can be successful brothers for 21 years, guiding their own lives, but also maintaining a friendship. So that's the firm. In addition, we're going to get into some sports business entertainment because there have been some firm stances in sports business entertainment this week. The comment section wasn't working last week. I don't know. Hopefully it's working this week.
Last 2 weeks has been like that.
Yeah, it has been. I don't know what's going on with the.
I know you got something to say. If you're there, say hello.
Yeah, just say hello. Something.
All of
If
y'all.
we don't respond, just know that it's not coming up. I do like to have the comments in terms of live recording. The comments be a part of the show. So hopefully we'll figure out from a technology standpoint what's going on the platform. But if you are tuned in, please feel free to say something and comment, and we'll know whether or not it's working.
And know if I'm not listening to your comments, you can always send me a text message. That's why I'm looking down, because I do respond and look at the text messages you guys send during the show, in case the comments don't work, or in case you're shy.
In case you shy. Don't be shy. But you started off talking about the Olympics. I've got a firm stance on what the medal count means. I've got a firm stance on whether or not the U.S. should be dominant in each one of these Olympics. I've got a firm stance on whether or not we should be looking at GDP and the economies of these respective nations and letting that sort of give us an idea of who should be winning medals. I've got a firm stance on all of it, but I want you to start us off on this one, man. I come here with some feelings, but I need to hear yours. What are you thinking about this Olympics, the medal count? What your Olympic takeaway from Paris, as it pertains to America, is what?
I look at it and I say, like, we better win, right? I started thinking about this during the World Cup. So there was a World Cup battle. There's a young lady that I went to high school with. I won't name her, but she's really into Croatia. Tina, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. Anyway, she's all over it, and she's as patriotic to her country as she can be. Okay. And then I think Croatia played France, and in the World Cup final. And as watching it, I'm watching the French team, which had a bunch of brothers on it, right? And then I'm watching the Croatian team. Everybody
Not
looks at
as
it.
in siblings, brothers. He talking about melanated folk, black people,
black folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the Croatian team, who is all Croatian, right? You just looking at them, they all got the same Croatian ethnicity look. And then I just start thinking, some of these countries, when you think about it, like we don't send a lot of Native Americans to the Olympics. So we really don't have any America's not a race except for Native Americans, if you think about it. We're just a landing spot, right? Everybody's from someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
So, you do your DNA.com. It doesn't say American, right? It says
Evanston.
We're not a primary color. We're
Evanston,
a blend.
Illinois. That's what George said.
We're a blend. Haiti, same way, right? Blend. My son was crushed when I showed my DNA.com. It didn't say Haiti on it. He said, I thought we were Haitian. I said, we are. But Dad, why doesn't it say? I'm trying to say, no, we're a land. We start talking about slave ships and all kind of stuff like that.
Right. Fair.
But when I go down, I'm not going to go get deep and make this too crazy. But when you look at America, you think about what it takes to be Olympics is every skill set you can think of, right? I like football is a beautiful game because football takes in, we got room for the big fat guys. We got room for the small guys. If you're real technical and you can't touch people, you can kick the ball. We've got room for every skill set in football. And I think that's why it's the most beautiful game on earth. But the Olympics is the same thing, even to a better thing, because now you just compete with that one skill set. So when you look at it and you start saying, because of altitude, you get people from Ethiopia and Kenya that are going to have be better in the distance running because they got a higher lung capacity natural into their small frames or whatever. So they do a little bit better in that. So we go through and I know it's Jimmy the Greek could get you fired if you say too much about race and sports. So you got to kind of be careful. But there's some tendencies in each sport who does well in what, what precision sports and do whatever. And then you look at the size of the country. Some of these countries in Europe are tiny, right? Mm-hmm. And if they don't embrace bringing in talent that is not of the nationality, right? France does it a lot. Organically grown, but
grown.
I don't know if I've ever seen a brother running for Ireland in the sprints. I ain't never seen that, right? You catch, there's a brother from Italy won the 100 in the last Olympics. Brother, he not, but his mama might have been Italian. But you know what I'm saying? Like you're getting a lot of this stuff that does.
He made it to the finals again in this Olympics. Yep.
Yeah, he made it finals the fastest. This is the first finals ever where everyone ran a sub 10-second 100, which is crazy. We didn't run the fastest on the top end, but for the medium.
My man from Jamaica got last at like 9.81. That's 9.
Used to be the Olympic world record or whatever. Yeah. And now this dude is last. So my point is, America should win. I know when we watch it and we lose, and this is when I feel like I can't believe how American I am when I watch this stuff. I start saying, well, these people, like we watch, because I get into everything. I watch the diving and they see the Asian countries killing it. Oh man, these people, they found out that she was had good balance when she was 2, and then they took her, and then she'd been practicing diving since 2 years old. So we don't take it that seriously in the United States. But we do take sports seriously in general. We're not as specific, but we have so many people of so many ethnicities and so many things. We should win the Olympics every year. There's no excuse for us not winning winning as a total every year, just because we got it all.
So what was the medal count? Medal count.
We had 40 gold. We tied China, which again, China.
40 gold. And we tied China. Is that a win or a loss based on what you just said? Because you said we should be winning it every year, and there are
another factor.
The medal count and the distribution of the medal count. There are certain sports that Chinese athletes did phenomenal in. Gymnastics is one of them, and diving is one of them. But there are other sports that were.
I don't know. Was ping pong? I know that they usually do traditionally well in ping pong. Was that this or was that winter?
No, that was in Summer Olympics.
I'm assuming they will. But let me give it to China landmass. I mean, China's enormous. So you start having pure people. Like when you look at the European countries, they shouldn't do well in the Olympics. They're so little. If you think about
a lot of them, right?
All those European countries are so little compared to it. But like United States
in terms of China, absolutely.
Brazil should do really well. I feel like Canada should be ashamed of their damn self.
So when you look at the medal count, hearing all of that and giving us the backdrop of America should win it all the time, looking at the landmass in China and knowing that America, that is a landing place and is attracting humans from all over, therefore attracting athletes from all different pure ethnicities, biological ethnicities, right? Is this much to do about nothing? Because, you know, at the end of the day, those two nations, China and the U.S., really dominated, right? They tied for total medal count, gold medal counts, 40.
Yeah, we dominated.
U.S. was 126 total medals to China's 91 second. And it looks as though, or sounds as though you're saying, well, duh. Of course.
I think the bigger story is where was Brazil and where was Canada? That's the bigger story. Canada doesn't have much population, but they got the landmass. But Brazil is enormous. How come Brazil's not at the top all the time? Where are you at? And Brazil's got a little bit of they've got a diversity in ethnicities to an extent. You know what I mean? They've got natural brothers down there. They got the Portuguese type influence. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got a little mix, but they got a big country.
Yeah.
Big country should do well. You know what I mean? When you see Jamaica killing, you got to give them credit when they start killing this stuff. It's tiny. Jamaica would be a major city in America.
There were a lot of stories like that. You know, you had, well, I can't think of where he was from. Tobago. Where was he from? Who won the 200? I'm tripping. But he was the first gold medal.
You sure you're talking about the lady that was from one of the islands?
Yes, that was also a first-time winner.
She won 100 and she took second to 200.
Yes.
Can I take a shout out? I don't want to be misogynistic, but can I shout out how fine the female track runners are this year? Is that?
I mean, I don't think it's misogynistic. I think there's a compliment somewhere in there. Well, go ahead.
I mean, it's all the way compliment, but you know, these days you can't compliment. I couldn't believe how fine the women are these days. The track girls I grew up on with, you had to look past some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She looks pretty good, but this St. Lucia, she won. She took second.
She's St. Lucia. Julian Alfred. Man, she's gonna be the
girl from Harvard that ran the 200, the one that runs the
Gabby Thomas.
She's gorgeous. The one that ran the 400 hurdles and 400 non-hurdle time.
Oh, you talking about Sydney McLaughlin? LeBron?
Fantastic.
She's from New Jersey. Shout out.
She from Jersey? Yeah, I saw something about that.
The Mogo is from Botswana, 200 meter. So yeah, you got these.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that too much?
No, not
many countries. Great Britain had a few. We got a couple. Some girl was talking about how it was unfair. She said, "You don't get to be fast and beautiful." This is a woman saying this. That's why I feel comfortable talking.
Yeah,
she said, "This is bullshit. I hate all of them. You don't get to be world class fast and a supermodel. That's not."
And Sydney McLaughlin LeBron is actually like supermodel status. Yeah. We talked about her last week. We missed you last week, man. We had Michael Young Jr. on. We missed you, bro.
Man, what's up, brother? I'm gonna check back, man.
You gotta check it out, man. It was a good show. Continue to chime in.
I digress about how beautiful the young ladies are, but that's fantastic.
Like we ask you every week, please like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a forward, tag anyone you know, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast. We were talking about the medal count. We said that the U.S. won, air quote, won, in the sense that it was tied for most gold medals, 40 being the number, with China. And it led total medal count. And as Michael Young Jr. and I last week talked about, and sort of you touched on a bit, it all depends on subjectively what you find to be most important. Is it the most goals? And if so, you know, we were tied with China. Do you consider that a win if we're tied with China? Or is it total medal count? It depends on who you ask.
So here's my thoughts, right? Because I like the way golf does it. Like golf weights everything. So you might never win a major, but if you finish second in all majors, you're going to be considered the number one golfer in the world.
Yep.
It might be the fact that I'm a LeBron fan and that he's made second place seem so easy. But I do think gold should count for 3. If you do by points, gold counts for 3, silver counts for 2, bronze counts for 1, add up the points to see how it is. So we won everything, gold, silver, and bronze. We were the top medal winner in each one. So that makes it simple. But I do think a gold counts more than just like in track, right? I mean, the first place doesn't get 1 point, second place gets 1 point. Like, you get,
like team track.
Yeah, team track. Like right. you wait the finishes. So I think whoever wins the most gold, you take that by 3, whatever wins, whatever. And then that's how you've done as a nation. Again, it happens to be we won every category. I still think we should, but that's how it should go. You can't just do medal count and just whatever. Like it's no big. Like third is no big deal.
Very fair.
If you think it's fair, ask them to trade. Just to ask the third person, say it's the same here. Just let me get your goal.
Right. You just take this. I'll take yours. But let's touch on each one of them. Let's start with the gold because there are the numbers and then there's the stories that underlie the numbers. And there's one gold medal that the U.S. earned that we got to touch on because you just talked about sort of the point value and something sort of being important. LeBron James got the MVP of that team, but there's a Steph Curry moment there in the gold medal game that I think will live on forever in infamy when it comes to big moments in U.S. basketball Olympics. All right. So I think that this Olympics was a referendum on USA basketball versus the world, made true and more imminent by Noah Lyles, who we'll get to. All right. But with all of the pressure on their shoulders, with the entire world circling them as the target, with the entire world starting to diminish the gap when it comes to quality of basketball, USA versus other nations, with all of these parameters, with all of the nations that are increasing the number of NBA players on their roster, USA basketball still looked dominant. In the semifinal game against Serbia, yes, they had to come back from down 12, and they did that. Mm-hmm. And we touched on that last week. But then the gold medal game against France, where France, you look at those names, I'm like, this is really NBA roster too. Maybe it's not an NBA All-Star roster, which is what the USA basketball team puts out on the floor, but it's definitely like what's they have the sophomore and celebrity games at the NBA All-Star game, right? It's right below what I would consider NBA All-Star roster with who they had playing for France. All right, with all of that going on, USA basketball wins it all, and Steph Curry goes on a tear in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds where he scores 12 straight points. He shoots a shot over 2, not just France defenders, but 2 front court 6'9" plus defenders. Mm-hmm. And I think he stole the show. While LeBron, as you described it, because he was second in all the categories throughout all the games and was steady. He was definitely a playmaker.
He led the Olympics or their team in every category: points, assists, and rebounds. Rebounds too. I mean, as far as average,
which is impressive. But in the most crucial moments, and this isn't an argument about who should have got the MVP. I'm happy with LeBron getting MVP. But in the most crucial moments of the 2 most crucial games, in terms of the semifinal game and the gold medal game, other people dominated. Steph Curry in both games made quite the mark on both games. Steph Curry's
I would say, okay, we almost lost to Sudan. He can't. LeBron brought was it Sudan? Not Sudan.
What? Yes, but that was prior to the Olympics. That was a playing game when we almost lost to Sudan. That wasn't the medal round.
Yeah, but yes, that was the
we blew them out once we actually had the
and did whatever. But I would say this,
something at stake.
We played Serbia. LeBron went down. He started covering Joker at the end, giving them problems. Now they had to find a way. Joker couldn't handle LeBron, which I wish they'd have figured out during the season or during the playoffs. But Joker couldn't handle LeBron, so he had to keep trying to get picks so that KD could cover him. LeBron was covering him real tough in the paint, doing whatever. He stepped up there. He scored 16 points in that game, but man, it was they say you have he had a quiet 25. He had a loud 16 because his 16 was at the end when it counted. So I think LeBron has always had the humbleness to allow others to shine when they need to shine, which he's going to get criticized for in this me first society we live in. But I think he was not invisible in any games, and everyone else was invisible in some games.
Absolutely, right? Including Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Having said that, Steph Curry's 12-point run
was necessary.
Not just necessary. I think it's going to stand out as probably, and I hate hyperbole. I don't want to overdo it and be the victim of recency bias, but I don't recall any USA basketball player having that electric of a 2-minute run in that crucial of a moment that essentially cemented them as the gold medal champs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall it. You can talk about, Carmelo Anthony and all the points he scored. There's so many different moments you can talk about from USA basketball. I am struggling to find another example of a 2-minute run and such a crucial point of a chase to a medal, this being the gold medal. I'm struggling to find it.
I would agree on a couple fronts. Is to do it. First of all, we haven't needed it a bunch, and that's the topic I don't want to brush over. We haven't needed it as much, but yes, he did. I've always said, remember, back in my day, we had this argument back when you I couldn't believe it was on the Olympic team was Wiggins. But I digress. But because you let that one slip over your head, huh?
You say my bad. Somebody was texting me about the show. I'm sorry.
I said, "There's no way in the world you didn't catch that." I can't believe they left Wiggins off.
About people texting me about the show.
I can't believe they left Wiggins off the Olympic team.
Oh, you such a hater. I doubled back for that.
The reason why I did, because I'm going to show you why I doubled back. And everybody who's listening don't know is he believes that Wiggins is a superstar, but for some reason
I said back then he was a superstar. He's not a superstar now.
And I had said anybody who plays on that team with Golden State could do what KD did that was a superstar. That's how the whole argument came up. This is going back a couple of years now. And my thing is, Steph Curry, out of all the stars in the NBA, except for maybe LeBron, although even LeBron sometimes does a little bit of steal the shine. Like KD or Steph Curry will back off and let you do what you got to go do, and then step up when you need him.
He had done it the whole Olympics.
But he does that. He does that
and
in their championship runs.
His shot was off. His shot was off
early, yeah.
Yeah.
But he did that in a lot of their championship runs. He let KD come in and do what he had to go do when KD was hot, and then he came back. And a lot of NBA teams right now are missing championships because their stars don't know how to do that. They can't step up and turn it off, so they just disappear, and then they're out of the situation altogether, and then they can never come back. So, hats off to those two moments for sure. But I think when you look at the entirety of how do they get there and remain undefeated, to do it. Now, one topic I would like to discuss. A lot of people are like, "Man, what's going on? This team should have been better." If you look back, and I think people just they ignore what's in their face. We used to win the Olympics every year by a lot with college students, right?
Mm-hmm.
College kids would come out there and could beat the world. Well, the world started playing basketball, right? Just like women's soccer. The world started playing soccer around the world, and now we win, but we don't dominate like we
Shout out
to.
the U.S. women's national team. We reclaimed the number one spot in FIBA officially. As of today, we back to number one. But
yeah, we were down to number 6, and we were killing forever. But you know what happens? Other people start doing it, and when other people start doing it, their learning curve and their escalation is a lot higher. So if you look at the NBA MVPs, we've had Joel Embiid, we've had Giannis. When's the last time we had an
Joker.
American?
Yeah, it hasn't been in U.S. Yeah, the Joker,
Embiid, Joker twice or 3 times, Embiid, and then Giannis.
Yeah.
So I'm saying we haven't had an American. So are we that surprised that we go to the Olympics and all of a sudden? So we're saying the 4 best people in the last 4 years, the best person in the NBA, quote unquote, has been a foreign player, and now all of a sudden we're floored. Oh my God, I can't believe we're not blowing everybody out. Michael Jordan, those guys didn't play against the top 10 players in the country, or some of the top 10 players in the NBA. When he was going against it, there was 1 or 2 people. I remember they played against Vlad. What's the guy that went to the Bulls?
Vlade Divac.
Nope, I'm tripping. Nope, the guy
Tony
that
Kukoc.
Kukoc. They played a Kukoc who was this project draft pick that was controversial, and they beat his face in. Right, he turned out to be an average player in the NBA. You know, he did pretty well with the Bulls. They killed him. They went and found this dude, but it was such a big deal that there was this future NBA guy that it was on a team that would play. That's who the Dream Team played. Like those are the kind of teams they played, and they went and destroyed everybody. But we're playing against NBA superstars in this thing. And then when you had also go back and say these are national teams. Serbia, how many teams you think Joker played with those same guys on that court in his life? Hundreds, right? They've been playing since
absolutely, yeah. That's
playing.
the other part of it, right? But this is the other side of what I would say is. I don't even call it unintended. This was an intended result of the initiative the NBA has made to globalize the game.
Yeah.
If you look at that same era, like, because we're comparing Dream Team to whatever they're going to eventually call this team. I don't know what they're going to call this one. Right. And you look at the progression from Dream Team to Redeem Team.
You better not mess this up. That's what they're going to call it.
Right. Yeah, don't drop the bag. To whatever they're going to call this team. Right. If you look at that timeline, what you'll see is millions of dollars poured into the globalization of the game. Investment in Africa, in Europe, and you name it, in Asia, you name it, the NBA has invested in the globalization, both from the skills part of it and putting boots on the ground. So they've got development across the world and also being able to recruit talent from around the world. And when it comes to media rights and the distribution of content from the NBA into households across the world. And if you look at that timeline, it makes perfect sense that the world is catching up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give Steph Curry his flowers before we move on. The LeBron thing I brought up just because I like messing with you. LeBron deserves the MVP. Steph Curry deserves flowers. I cannot think of another, I'm going to say NBA player, but Olympic player. I cannot think of another Olympic moment. How electric was that environment?
It was
fantastic. You got Scottie Pippen going crazy. You got Carmelo Anthony going crazy. You got Stephon Marbury going crazy. Like, the greats of the game were beyond themselves, outside of themselves, watching this magical moment. And Steph Curry, I don't know what it is about him, man. It might be because he looks 12 years old. I don't know what's about him. He just seems to do everything right. He's a family man that does not have too many rumors out there about salacious behavior off the court. He just seems to get it right. And in the biggest moment where he made it clear, this is the only time I'm going to have this moment. Never have participated in the Olympics before. Probably never at this age going to participate in the Olympics again. He still finds a way to outdo himself. Get a man his flowers, man, before we move on.
Yeah, I think, another thing I want to point out there, because there's all these people, all the fake patriots out there who are always talking about, LeBron and these guys, they hate America, they're not happy or whatever. They're going out this place, I think, for free, right? Do they get any money for this? I don't think they make it. They definitely don't make their rate. Let me say that. If they get paid anything, they definitely don't get their rate. You got these people vying to go out there. You got LeBron, who's in the ripe old age of 100, who wants to play with his son. He's got all these things, everything to lose and really nothing to gain except for pride. You got all these people. You got Steph Curry saying how much this meant to him. So there's a lot of people out, these fake patriots, that will get out there and get so mad at these professional athletes, and they're constantly throwing shade. And I just say, look at how much pride they took in winning the gold medal for their country, right? Look at how much pride they took for way more risk than reward, other than being able to just do that for legacy and do whatever. So that's what I'm gonna leave with. That's my final.
Shout out to Steph Curry. Chef Curry, baby. Hey, he was on that thing on the hibachi, cooking it up for the whole world to see. Shout out to him, man. The reason that this was a referendum of the USA basketball versus the world is for two reasons. The globalization of the game, and we're noticing that the rest of the world is catching up, but also because of a man named Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles made it very clear that he felt when we call the NBA champion of respective years the world champion, that's disrespectful to his sport and to other sports that are actually competing against people that are around the world. Noah Lyles sort of has egg on his face for various reasons, but let's just stick to this duo that he missed out on. While he won the 100, and he looked in the camera and I told y'all, US, I got this.
That was
a few days later, he came up short in the event that everyone bet that he would win. He had not lost a single race of the 200, a single round, a single heat of the 200 since Tokyo 2021. And yet, he lost in the rounds in the semifinal and got bronze. So we talked about the gold medal that I wanted to highlight in our total medal count of that
bronze
126.
Kind of like gold, though.
Now let's talk about a bronze medal.
It looked kind of like gold.
It looked kind of like gold, but it ain't. And by not winning that 200, which he was the odds-on favorite to win, by not winning that 200, he took what was a certain media dream of being the face of all U.S. sports. I don't even know if they do the Wheaties box anymore. But you understand what I mean by saying
at least got on
on
Captain Crunch or something. He could at least make Captain Crunch. You never know.
Something. By losing that 200, has he essentially put a little bit of tarnish on that legacy? Now, after the race, he did look dehydrated. We found out in the post-race interview, he put on the safety mask. It was divulged very shortly thereafter that he did have COVID and was removed from the Olympic Village and put into a hotel and sequestered. So it was truly a COVID situation. Yeah. But before the race, he's jumping up, he's hyping up, he's getting all crunk, and he came up short. Noah Lyles not only put the spotlight on USA basketball to say it's USA basketball versus the world, he put the spotlight on himself. And the question then became whether or not he would step up and deliver in the biggest moment of the Olympics, I would argue, because everyone was watching, and almost inarguable in this case, the biggest moment of his track life. He came up short.
He dropped the bag. Well, I will say this. I noticed during the semifinal race, I noticed him walking to the arena with the mask on when he came in. So this is a day before. And I was like, why is this dude wearing a mask? Man, like, that threw me off, but no one said anything about it. But so when I found out he had COVID, I wasn't surprised. All that monkeying he should have saved. He obviously didn't feel that bad. He should have saved it. He thought he could win anyway. That Paul Pierce like theatrics where he unzipped his pulled one of his chest meats out and got on the they had to put him in the stretcher, basically the wheelchair. That was too much, man. You can't pull out the chest meat and do that. And then they caught him the next day at the club juking.
Yeah.
He's at the club juking.
Yeah.
Now, but he obviously was sick because they took him out the 4x1 and one without him. They took him out to buy the 4x4 and one without him. Right? No, we got smashed in the 4x1, didn't we?
We didn't. We had a pass issue. We got disqualified. Our exchange. Our exchange.
But we still got smashed, even though it was disqualified.
Yeah. I mean, it was because of the exchange that we didn't do better.
He threw that off. He ruined that because now we got people who weren't ready to go. The 4x4 they won anyway. He wasn't supposed to run. Had he run the 4x4, we would have lost anyway because he had a bet. He doesn't run that well. He just was trying to be selfish and run it just to try to get a gold. So he needs to go sit down somewhere. He's lucky that Tyreek Hill has been running his mouth and he's going to give him a chance to come back out and embarrass Tyreek Hill.
Who wins? All right, so Noah Lyles versus Tyreek Hill. We might as well give like any fight, you got to give the tail of the tape. In high school, Noah Lyles ran a 10.14 meters.
Yeah.
And Noah Lyles ran a 20.09 200 meters. In high school, Tyreek Hill ran a 10.19 meters, only 0.05 slower than Noah Lyles. And he ran a 20.14 in the 200 meters, again, only 0.05 slower than Noah Lyles. Tail of the tape says it should be competitive. 0.05. You can't even blink that fast. Who wins?
Okay, so here's what I had to say. In high school, I weighed 240 pounds. Fuck is the relevance to that today? Right?
I'm just saying that's what people are using to say the tail of the tape gonna mean it's gonna be competitive.
Okay, so Noah would have beat him competitively in high school.
Barely. It would have been a photo finish. That's photo finish.
Competitively. You don't like my choice of words? You're
right.
I missed the mark.
You just said that. My bad.
So he would have beat him competitively in high school. And now he would get embarrassed. He's gonna get embarrassed. He's gonna beat him by he's gonna stop and do shit. You know what I mean? Like he might jump over the line and start frog dropping. You don't run track no more. First of all, Tyreek Hill's way bigger than he was in high school. You know what I mean? As far as swole up, he had to get more muscle on his body. Noah Lyles probably weighs less, and Tyreek Hill doesn't train to run hundreds. I mean, you saw what happened. What's the big receiver from Ole Miss that played that DJ Metcalf. He didn't get
well though. I mean, he was last, but he
embarrassed himself. But that's what I'm talking about.
No, he didn't.
Tyreek Hill is DJ Metcalf fast. You know what I'm saying? He probably faster than that, but that's the kind of speed we talking about. Football player.
Noah Lyles wins it, and I do agree with you. The cheetah, Tyreek Hill, did him a favor because he was slipping into this position where it was like, yo, if you're gonna be that hype and that dramatic and be that arrogant and bring a spotlight on you, you gotta win. And I think Noah Lyles came up short. Let's talk about another bronze medal because there's something going on in the world right now that has me scratching my head, Big Flo. The count right now for the U.S. is 126 medals, might go down to 125 because there's a particular somebody who is trying to find her medal to give it back. So we got comments. What's up, Cheeky Black?
This is why I don't have friends. This is why I don't have. This is why we don't. This is why I don't send Christmas cards out anymore. We've been having a hard time with comments the whole time. We got my Puerto Rican friend from California, Shane, comes on. He hasn't commented the whole show. Now this dude wants to question whether I weigh 240 pounds in high school. That's the only thing you had to say. Good morning to you too, Shane. And it's like early where he's at, California. Yeah, he hadn't had something to say in a long time. But I did weigh 240 pounds in high school. If I was going to lie, I'd lie about how much I weigh today. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh today, but I'm not going to lie about my high school weight. I would have been a tight end coming out now.
What? So other than being what you say, 240 pounds in high school, I don't know if that's true. Would you be somebody that, if asked to give back your bronze medal, are you producing that bronze medal?
I thought about this when Reggie Bush lost his Heisman. They're going to have to come get it. And I'm not even going to come to the door. Like, you're going to have to time it so when someone's coming in, they're coming to get it. But if you think I'm going to actually contribute, like meet you somewhere or go to the store and ship it, none of that's happening. You might as well make her another one. That's all I would say. You'll make her another bronze medal.
This moment was made possible by Black Girl Magic. You got Simone Biles and Jordan Chiles giving love to the sister, and it just seemed amazing. And yet now we got this controversy. Apparently, the contest was 4 seconds late. Now there's a video that shows
the rules. Tell them how ridiculous the rules are, though. That's what I want to make
sure. The rule is that you have to contest one of their mistakes within a minute of a posting. And so they're saying that the U.S. contest came at 1:04, which will make it 4 seconds too late. But the U.S. says that there was video footage available that shows that the contest came in 47 seconds, which will make the contest appropriately filed. No one is disputing whether or not the adjustment should have been made. The dispute is whether or not the U.S. protested, if you will, within the allotted time such that the score could be adjusted. And so this magical moment that would have stood in infamy with all of the great moments, including the Black Fist, right, that you think of, this was a moment that was like, it showed sportsmanship. It showed Black woman magic. It showed the right way to go out and represent your country and being able to cheer for someone while competing against them, this moment essentially is a dud, because the person on the right, Jordan Chiles, the one who in this picture was awarded the bronze medal, is now needing to check her ring camera because the Olympic Committee is at the door and they searching through everything.
Pulling the blinds back.
Pulling the blinds back. And don't open that door. She's treating the Olympic Committee like Jehovah's Witness right now. No offense to any Jehovah's Witness, but you know that knock that comes too early on a Saturday, you better not open that door. Jordan Child's family is looking out that window like, you better not open that door. They're not getting this medal. First of all, I ask you this. If something similar happens to you, you got the medal within your care, you're back on U.S. soil, and they tell you got to return your medal, you do what?
Absolutely nothing. I blocked the caller first and foremost. You're on my block list. Blocking any emails, put them spam filters, whatever. But you're going to have to come get it. If you think that I'm going to participate in it, here's the thing that's so bad. You had one job, right?
As a judge, you had one
judge,
job?
you had two jobs. So you had to get before the thing had to set up. You have a team of people who are supposed to do the because I think what it was is they didn't give her the degree of difficulty she deserved. The
score. There's adjustments that are made based on the difficulty, and I think she executed on something that she did not get the boost because of the difficulty.
And so you're telling me that as the coach who's supposed to be coaching her or thinking about what she's doing, I have to see that you made this mistake in 60 seconds, right? It takes them longer than 60 seconds to post a score, right?
A lot of times.
Now I have to review your scores after this thing, and it's a bunch of people that go into the score. It's not one judge. I have to review it and say, no, you guys got this wrong. In 60 seconds, I have a shot clock to tell you about your mistake, and I'm right about the mistake that you made. Everyone knows that I'm right about the mistake, but man, it took you 4 seconds. What took you so fucking long? What took you the extra 4 seconds? What were you doing? Was it maybe celebrating the gold medal? Were you at the Olympics? But how dare you give the medal back? Now, the question is, if you're the other girl, the bronze, do you want it?
I think she was a Romanian. I think
I felt bad for her, and I was praying they didn't put her.
She said the right things. She said she didn't want to be. I think, and that's the beautiful thing about it. In addition to this picture that captures the I think glory of sportsmanship, the person who was currently in fourth at this time, who if this incident goes forth and they strip Jordan Chiles, when they strip Jordan Chiles of her medal, she would be third. She said all the right things too. I thought she said all the right things about, I hate that Jordan and I are in this sport. I think she was receiving a lot of backlash from Jordan Chiles fans, and Jordan Chiles said, no athlete should. They did all the right things. The only people that were not on point here were the judges. And to be honest, the process of it says call for a minute, because this episode is called Firm Stance. It seems like the committee is taking a firm stance, and if it was not rendered in that time, then there's a problem.
I'm gonna tell you why they're doing her like this. Did you see when she started doing a little podcast tour after she got after the Olympics, after they were done?
I saw her on some few shows, yeah.
And she had grills.
She had grills, yeah.
She had grills.
This all comes back to gold grills.
You notice that they do music. They never do hip hop. What would be sweeter during the floor exercise than some hip hop?
Yeah, hey, we might have to,
she got grills. They said, go get her shit. They knew that they missed the 4 seconds before. I mean, is there a shot clock? Like, how do they time it?
I don't know, but they, according to the U.S. AG, whatever, the United States is basically taking a firm stance and saying there's a video out there that shows that the protest was made in 47 seconds. So
who is the timekeeper for protest?
I don't even know, man.
Is there a guy? Is there a dude with a stopwatch that just clicks?
If you call me and tell me I got to give back my bronze medal, get it in blood, pimp. And you got to make sure
my shit.
You bring a whole bunch of
Hey, shout out to Flavor Flav. He went and he already made her a bronze clock.
Hey, Flavor Flav might be the other MVP of these Olympics because boy, him and Snoop, they cashed in, baby. But the firm stance that Noah Lyles took, that USA basketball indeed, right, or NBA basketball should be called national champs versus world champs. And then they went out and did their thing. The firm stance that we all have taken in terms of medal count, the firm stance that we've all taken in terms of Jordan Chiles, all of these things pale in comparison to the firm stance that now the Olympic Committee has made when it comes to breakdancing. They have decided Olympics 2024 was put on notice because of one amazing situation. Can we get visual confirmation of why breakdancing will no longer, it made it 1 year. Can we show the face of this decision, please?
I just want to say, I don't know if that's the goal of the bigger travesty, or is that the world will no longer get moments like this.
There it is, baby. Dun, dun, dun.
Would you look at the judges? They're like, man, I wish I was judging gymnastics right now. Buddy has his hat pulled over his eyes.
She is the face of no fucks given, because she went out there and competed, and by doing so made every Australian embarrassed. But everybody who sees these pictures, sees these images, gets a nice little chuckle. And now with the Olympics going to LA, they saying no more breakdancing. She single-handedly ended breakdancing. God bless her ratchet soul for being that damn bold and going out there doing that. What a funny moment.
Just so you know, we had a fight before the thing as to which picture was worse. So I want you to tell me, those of you watching,
which picture?
Which one should we have gone with?
Worst being
Bobby
best.
wanted the one with the praying mantis. I felt like this body cramp, or maybe this is a stretch. Maybe is this a yoga pose? What do you call this? Cramping dog?
Call that. We're gonna call that the reason they got rid of the breakdancing sport in the Olympics. I don't know what that's called. She did some form of a in-place bicycle on the ground. She did a whole bunch of stuff, man. None of it looked like breakdancing. And her facials were so confident. And I'm just looking at it like, God bless America, right? Well, I guess not America. God bless the world. God bless Australia that somebody was that confident to do this in this.
You know what the problem is?
She knew the camera was on. She knew the world was going to be looking.
Breakdancing shoes on. Those aren't breakdancing shoes.
That's the only problem.
That's the only problem. She didn't have breakdancing shoes. And evidently she needed to stretch during her. You know, the thing is, she thought, I'm going to hit him with this. I'm going to put my arm around. I'm going to grab my chin. I didn't realize until now she's grabbing her chin. She's striking a pose. I'm going to hit him with this. She still has her water. Hey, she was in AAU basketball. She still has her AAU basketball bracelet on.
See, you can't appreciate what's going on here because she's both made a break in the elbow and the knee of the same side. So you talked about the gymnastics, the accelerators and points. Because she's able to break the elbow and knee from the same side, this is plus 0.2. You tripping, Flo.
She's dressed like the people that get the balls at the tennis match. You know what I'm saying? You know, those kids that run out and grab the ball real quick and get back.
She went to the wrong event.
She's at the wrong event. And then they just started playing music, and she said, hell, I'll dance. Why are we here? We're here.
The French Open. She thought it was the French Open.
The French Open. It's not your fault, man. It's just a damn ass recruiting mistake.
There's a lot of people that should be fired. Breakdancing took the wrong. They took the black eye for this, but you got to remember that there was a coach that instructed her through this routine. There was someone that okayed this before they went out.
And they no longer on the Olympic Committee. Like 1 year. 1 year. We always talk about NBA people to get fired the first year, NFL coaches or whatever. But after 1 year, someone said, what the fuck did you put this out there?
This is so bad that we can't do it again. So LA, a place notorious for breakdancing, pop locking, and things of the sort, will not get breakdancing.
Not at our house. Not in this
from
house.
Australia.
Did we talk about before we leave? Did we talk about, or did you talk about last week the travesty of how they did the Jamaican sprinters and they did Sha'Carri Richardson?
We didn't talk about that. So there was in this episode of the Firm Stance, there was a firm stance policy that you could not get into a particular entrance at the Olympic Stadium if you did not ride on the team bus, I guess for security and clearance purposes. But it was not enforced the first day. They took a firm stance on it. That
it wasn't the rule the first day. They changed it.
They changed the rule. Which was crazy. And look, I mean, no protest available is going to make that right. The injustice has been served already. So I felt bad for Shelly Ann Price, who was in her last Olympics and wanted to go out with a bang and did not. And then they didn't do well in the 4x1. It was
she pulled out. Her and another girl pulled out because of it. Sha'Carri Richardson had to walk an hour to the other place.
She pulled out of the 100, and then her Thompson, I can't think of her first name, pulled out of the 200. But
did Shelly Ann Price end up running the 4x1?
I think so.
I thought she pulled out and said, my Olympics are done. We're done. I called it, which I thought was pimp. She was just like, forget it. I'm not done with this. I've been here so much. The thing about
you might be right. Because
the Olympic Village is set up by the host country, which, you know, who knows what those accommodations are. So you have these stars that have been to multiple Olympics that are, you know, rich athletes and doing whatever, like the NBA basketball team players, where they don't stay in the Olympic Village. They stay in other accommodations with more security. You're not going to come out and do the group shower and LeBron James brushing his teeth next to you. That's just not going to happen, right? So they're staying in different places.
Why? Because LeBron don't brush his teeth?
I don't know. He uses scope. But anyway, so you're not going to get that. So there's still going to be a team aspect with the basketball. They're going to come in with the team. But these individual track people, individual athletes, they're coming in by themselves.
Right.
And then you make a rule like that. You look damn well. You know, I know if you're working at the Olympics, you know who the hell Sha'Carri Richardson is. How many people walking around here just trying to impersonate a 5'1", long fingernail type? You know what I'm saying? Shelly Ann Fraser Price got yellow and green hair. She's walking. You should know who she is. If you don't let her in this damn gate, and you know you're gonna tell her to go,
and it threw off both of them. Not only their warm up, but having to walk. You don't want to put that type of taxing endurance on your body before you go try to ask your body to run as fast as possible. I think that they were wrong, but I mean, what do you do? The lady who was taking a firm stance, enforcing the rule, I don't think was a problem. I think that you can't create a rule mid-Olympics. That was the problem. The lady enforcing it is the one that everyone's upset about.
Friends. That's why I don't mess with friends.
But yeah,
I'm still mad at how y'all get that money back to Haiti. Well, that's
that's a different story, man.
It's my firm stance.
Firm stance on another situation that we got to get to, man. Love you back too, Shane Wayne. Shane Wayne in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. Oh my God, Shannon, man, was able to coach his amazing daughter, Shannon, who's also a track star. I appreciate you tuning in while you're on vacation. But the other firm stance that we got to talk about, man, is Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick back to the NFL. It seems like Jim Harbaugh has offered him the ability to be on the coaching staff. It wouldn't happen this year for the Chargers, but maybe next year. He said he's on vacation, but he's aware. He has thought about it several times because of Colin Kaepernick's football IQ and wanting to put him off the field, the person that he is. Colin Kaepernick, while at the Olympics, said that, yes, I'm still training. I still want a chance. Hasn't played since 2017. Firm stance, man. Do you think that it makes sense for Colin Kaepernick to keep on chasing this dream? Is it much ado about nothing? And do you think he should go into coaching? 30-second version.
Playing, that's dead. I don't care if he's controversial or not. He hasn't played in like 5 or 6 seasons, you said?
7 years. That's 2017 was his last year.
How long did Michael Vick go to jail? 3 years?
I don't remember.
And he came back. He was good. He came back though. But 7 years, you're dead. It's done. That's already over. And it wasn't like you were leaving at the top of your game. You left on a down note, right? So he's dead. That's good. As far as coaching, I think, why not? He's not going to be a head coach, but if he can do quarterback coaching, they don't really put the microphone in front of position coaches. I don't think I can understand why the NFL is not going to invite back somebody who's going to be bringing a negative light because why? There's so many people that want to be coaches and do whatever. So I can see why the NFLs won't do it. Now, Harbaugh is he don't give a damn. So I can see why Harbaugh would want to hire him. I mean, Harbaugh got in trouble and got suspended from Michigan, and they were gonna.
And then last week we talked about a show the cause order. Any college wants to hire him again, he's automatically suspended for a year. Can't do this, can't do that. You got to show cause why you should be able to hire him. I mean, literally, like there is a filter mechanism with a picture on it that says, "Hey, if you see this guy, don't hire him." So yeah, he's cool with controversy.
And what did they announce the next day after that he was going to be the honorary captain?
Honorary, captain.
They had
as
to go
a former player, not as a coach. Michigan, boy, I can't stand y'all.
But Harbaugh's like, hey man, I need you to do me a favor, man. I need you to make me the honor show. I want to come to the stadium and get a standing ovation.
Yeah,
for all these people. So Harbaugh walks around. I'm surprised he don't walk around naked. You know what I'm saying? Because he just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't.
And them tight khakis and you might as well be. That's the next step, right above walk around in the nude. He don't care. I would say this about Colin Kaepernick, brother. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. His reach and impact is so much more than football. I wish that he would just, and he has in certain ways. But I think the conversation about him returning to football as a quarterback or even as a coach on a staff, I think almost undermines his reach and his power that he can have way beyond football. But to each his own, man. That's his dream. And how dare I question someone who's trying to chase his dream. The other firm stance I wanted to get to, man, I see my man Shane Wayne was on here. Notre Dame suspends its swim team for gambling. And the story was really weird about how it came to light and what exactly went on. But Notre Dame took a firm stance. They found that there was some gambling going on basically within the team. They were betting on their times, and they were saying that there was some behavior that was unbecoming. They weren't nice to one another. They got into the group chat, and they didn't say it rose to the level of hazing, but it was interesting that Notre Dame suspended its entire men's swim team. The men's diving team was not involved in this. The women's swim team and diving team are not involved in this. Do you like this? The brand new athletic director suspends the team for the entire year after a law firm performs its audit. Do you think Notre Dame took the right steps? The gambling the wagers had nothing to do with the opponents. It had everything to do with their times. It seemed like sort of this, look, and I don't have the details of the report, but it seemed like this sort of what we do, right? I bet you can't do that. And do you think Notre Dame took the right steps?
So I was almost proud to say we had the most gangster swim team in America when I found out they got suspended for a year for gambling. Because I thought, wow, if we come to that where swimmers are gangsters too, they get out here and they're like, I'm gonna do it. And I say that tongue in cheek, but at the end of the day, friendly bets, you can't friendly bet. Listen, I mean, you can't bet.
And I think this is going to happen more. I mean, this is a rumor, so don't even think that I'm saying anything that happened in real life. But it's rumored that people used to get per diem. And with that per diem, they would get on a knee with two die. And they would shake them up, and roll the die.
And if it just so happened to be a 7, I win.
Something like that. It's just something about Little Joe. There were all of these things, 6'8". So rumor has it that per diem was in the middle of that, and there was money being exchanging hands, but everybody had fun. Even when you lost, it was more about the camaraderie of getting there. Now, it was a better outcome when you took people's per diem, allegedly, but it just seemed friendly.
Coops count as gambling.
Coops, I know. The rumor is that there was coops put down in the pot sometimes.
It's not monetary value, technically.
Coupons to a doggone dining hall. I hate to see that this is one of the things that is over the Notre Dame swim team. Hopefully they come back and it's going to be all good. Let's go home with these two things, man, before we get out of here. And we saw the break dancing took a break and it's out of there, right? God bless them. But we also have seen over the last several weeks, there's been a firm stance on Because shout out to Notre Dame for taking its firm stance, but there's been a firm stance in training camps about these young quarterbacks. One particular young man, JJ McCarthy, unfortunately tore his meniscus. I know you know him. He's from your hometown, went to IMG, did very well at Michigan, is a national champ. Since we talked about Jim Harbaugh, you see this young quarterback tear his meniscus. Sound like he was doing very well. So wanted to at least acknowledge, shout out to him for doing so well in camp. I hope he gets healthy quickly.
Correction, not from my hometown, but from around here. Very good friends of his parents, and had him on the show, the Big Flow Show. Interviewed him before. Great kid, great future. Hate to see this happen. Luckily, it's a meniscus. Very high successful rate when you repair it. It's one of those things where I think if you take away, you can come back in a few weeks. But then if you repair, it's got a better long-term healing thing, and he's going to have a long NFL career. So enjoy some of that money, man. You and the wife, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy some of that money this year.
Spend some of that money, man.
Train, do what you got to do, but you'll be back. You'll be back.
The other quarterback situation that I wanted to point out, there's two rookie quarterbacks in New England. One of the rookie quarterbacks, Drake May, was taken with the number 3 pick. The other one was taken in the 6th round, Joe Milton. And from all accounts, Joe Milton, the 6th rounder, has outplayed the number 3 pick, 1st rounder, Drake May. And the reason that's significant is because the 6th round pick in New England at quarterback makes you think of another person, Tom Brady. It'll be interesting. It's almost unthinkable that a 6th rounder at quarterback would get the nod before the 1st rounder, but I don't know. Drake May look like he in trouble, man. So if there's any organization, any franchise would take a firm stance on playing from a pure meritocracy standpoint, the quarterback that has made the most plays is New England. They've been notorious for it. So we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. Let's go home with this, man, as we close it out, put you on the spot, no matter what it is. We make sure we keep that picture there.
Oh.
The ball hall spotlight moment. You are in the middle of the court. The ball comes to you, and you are charged with the moment. Steph Curry moment. All lights are focused on you. We need a play. It's the ball hog spotlight moment. And I put this picture up here just for inspiration. What are we going home with? What's your ball hog spotlight moment from Sports Business Entertainment? What you got, Big Flow Show, before we go?
Hey, today and tomorrow, for those of us who pay attention in high school, college football, today and tomorrow when most people break camp, right? So you find out what your season's going to be like. So I want to give a shout out to all the kids that I've coached and kids that I've known through the years. That you have last 2 days of great camp, and you can break camp and have the season you're looking for. For those of you who may find out that this camp didn't go the way that you wanted to go, and you're not going to have a great season, keep your head up and be strong.
Or you're not going to start off where you want it to be. That doesn't mean you're not going to have a great season. Just keep on fighting. But
you got to be strong. You got to finish whatever. But this is a very emotional day for the culmination of months and months of work and preparation to get to this point. So we're going to find out. We're going to see, exactly what it is for everybody and out there in college football world. But I'm excited on my side because, this is my favorite time of year is when football is about to start. So good luck to all you guys. Have a healthy season. And let's go.
It's the first year we're expanding to 12 in the playoffs, baby. So you can stumble early and still get back to it. My ball hog spotlight moment on this episode, the firm stance, as we get to view this firm stance by this Australian breakdancer. Look at her firm stance. Man, that's comical, bro. You're right. I think you got the right picture. I think that's better than the Thriller joint. I think you win. This is the picture, meaning the worst picture, however you want to define it. My firm stance, ball hog spotlight moment is I'm going to recall something that happened this weekend. I am at an event. An adult tries to basically be aggressive towards one of my players because he was mad that their team lost while we were watching, and I kind of stepped in and took a firm stance. Like, hey man, if something's going on with a child, just communicate with the adult, because that guy's dad's not here. He's within my care. So it got to a point where it almost got physical. Right. And there's a younger guy, you could tell he's in the weight room, who jumps in from their team. And I'm standing there with one of my coaches, and I took a firm stance in front of my players, in front of my own children. And actually, my wife was at that game. In front of my wife, I took a firm stance. And what the young man probably didn't understand is, like, 20 years prior to that, I was on a football field with a whole bunch of dudes that were much bigger, way more muscular, way more athletic, and I never let anybody take my cornbread. I would rather take the ass whooping than to compromise a firm stance on principle. And so while I hated that it could have got physical, I know the risk inherent in that. I've got a lot to lose. I've got, titles that could be compromised by any situation like that. There comes a point in your life, especially, not to make it about men and women, but in this particular case, as a man, you stand up for what's right and you take a firm stance. And I think in this society, in the world that we are living in, I'll call it the Instagram society. It lies to these kids and makes them think that they need to be perfect. Instagram has an edit function to it. In real life, you don't have to be perfect, but you need to be principled. I took that firm stance, and by way of the positive side, not the negative side of letting the kids see two men that couldn't, eventually I guess we talked it out, or we decided to move on. The positive side is, in life, you're going to have to take a firm stance. In life, you're going to have to come to a fight and be willing to fight, not knowing whether or not you're going to win or lose, but being willing to fight nonetheless. There's a message in that that's way deeper than the fight. And so hopefully the kids were able to take that. I give it to you to say, whatever challenge you guys are going through today, this weekend, next week, next year, as long as you come to a situation with a firm stance, be willing to fight, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, win, lose, or draw, but being okay nonetheless, because the principle of fighting means more to you than the outcome. I promise you it's going to work out in your favor.
That's a lot, man. What I heard was you almost got your ass whooped this past weekend.
Hey, man.
You're telling me. Is that what I heard?
I don't know that I would have won. I know that I was going to fight.
I know that I was going to be in the fight.
I know I was down to fight. You know what I'm saying?
You can't whoop everybody.
I'm old enough now to be like, you know what? That would have been quite the fight. Right? I'm probably the most athletic 47-year-old man that he's faced, but I'm still a 47-year-old man.
You know of at least one person who's not mad that y'all talked it out.
We didn't really talk it out. We kind of just, it didn't end in a fight. I'll put it that way. But the kids all teased me afterwards. It was really funny to watch the kids shocked. But then they also were like, damn, coach, you really was willing to do whatever.
Not that action, coach.
Kids. To protect kids, you better believe I'm willing to do whatever. So with that, man, it's been a great show, man. I am your boy. Before I do that, I got to say, Big Flow Show, man, I appreciate you, man. The man, the myth, the legend himself, thou shall be intergalactically known and respected as the Big Flow Show is in the building. This has been the Ball Hog Sports Talk, where sports, business, and entertainment collide. I am your boy, B Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration, a.k.a. Breezy, a.k.a. the Councilman, a.k.a. a brother who is so proud to be able to spend this weekend with 3 Black attorneys, great fathers, great men. After 21 years, the firm has been reconnected. So Maurice, Mike Jones, Mike Jones, and my man Dwight Haygood. We're going to get to kicking it now, but I had to make sure I got the show in because we owe it to you. And because we have lived up to our obligation, we ask you to do the same. It won't cost you a damn thing to like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone that you know, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast. Ain't going to cost you nothing, but you'll be doing us a huge favor. With that, man, been a great show. This has been the Firm Stance episode of the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Y'all have a great weekend. Be blessed and take a firm stance when there's principle that is under your foundation. We is out. Peace.